A first date, a promising connection, and a young woman who never came home. Today on Red Flag Files, we're honoring Sydney Loofe, a 24-year-old with her whole life ahead of her. But more than that, we're learning the warning signs that were present in this case. Warning signs that could protect you or someone you love when meeting someone online. This is Sydney's story. And these are the red flags we can't afford to miss. This case involves murder and online dating violence. Viewer discretion is advised. Sydney Loofe was born on July 11, 1993 in Nebraska. To know Sydney was to know kindness. Her friends and family describe her as someone who lit up every room she entered. A young woman with an infectious smile and a genuine love for people. Sydney worked at Menard's home improvement store in Lincoln, Nebraska. Her coworkers loved her. She was reliable, friendly, and always willing to help. She wasn't just showing up for a paycheck. She genuinely cared about doing good work and building connections with the people around her. Outside of work, Sydney had simple joys that made her happy. She loved animals, especially her cats. She enjoyed spending time with friends, going out, and just living her life as a young woman in her 20s should. And like millions of other young people, Sydney was navigating the modern world of dating. In 2017, she was using dating apps. Something completely normal, something many of us have done or know people who have done. She was looking for connection, for someone who might understand her, for what so many of us look for: companionship. Sydney was cautious but not paranoid. She was open to new experiences, but she wasn't reckless. She was, in every way, a normal 24-year-old trying to find her place in the world. November 15, 2017, should have been just another day in Sydney's life. Instead, it became the day everything changed. In early November 2017, Sydney matched with a woman named Audrey on Tinder. They started chatting and things seemed to progress naturally. Audrey was 23, seemed friendly, and the two appeared to have a connection. On November 14th, Sydney and Audrey had their first date. They went antiquing together. A casual, public daytime activity. By all accounts, the date went well. Sydney texted her friends afterward, saying she'd had a good time and was excited to see Audrey again. The very next day, November 15th, Sydney and Audrey made plans for a second date. Sydney told her friends she was going out with Audrey again that evening. She seemed happy, excited even. She posted on Snapchat before the date, looking beautiful and ready for her night out. That would be the last time anyone heard from Sydney Loofe. When Sydney didn't show up for work on November 16th, her co-workers immediately knew something was wrong. This wasn't like Sydney. She was responsible, the kind of employee who would call if she was going to be late, let alone miss a shift entirely. Her friends tried calling and texting. Nothing. Her family grew increasingly worried. Sydney's father reported her missing that same day. And here's where the first major red flag emerged. Audrey, the woman Sydney had been on a date with, had completely vanished too. Her phone was off. She wasn't responding to any attempts to reach her. For someone who'd just been on a date with a woman who was now missing, that silence was deafening. Law enforcement immediately began investigating. They obtained Sydney's phone records, social media messages, and location data. Every piece of digital evidence pointed to one thing: Sydney's last known contact was with Audrey. As investigators dug deeper, they discovered something crucial. Audrey wasn't who she claimed to be. Her real name was Bailey Boswell, and she wasn't acting alone. Bailey had a boyfriend, 24-year-old Aubrey Trail. And as the investigation progressed, a disturbing picture began to emerge. This wasn't a simple dating app connection. Bailey and Aubrey were a couple. A couple who had allegedly used dating apps to lure women before. Security footage from November 15th showed Sydney at a Home Depot in Lincoln with Bailey Boswell. But there was someone else there too. Aubrey Trail lurking in the background. Sydney had thought she was meeting a woman for a second date. She had no idea a man was involved at all. That same evening, cell phone records placed Sydney's phone in the small town of Wilbur, Nebraska, about 40 miles southwest of Lincoln. That's where Bailey and Aubrey lived. Sydney's phone last pinged there around 10 p.m. After that, it went dark. For 3 agonizing weeks, Sydney's family held on to hope. Law enforcement searched. The community rallied. Sydney's face was everywhere. On the news, on social media, on missing person posters throughout Nebraska. Then, on December 4, 2017, hunters discovered human remains in a rural area of Clay County, Nebraska. DNA testing confirmed what everyone feared. It was Sydney Loofe. The medical examiner determined she had been strangled. Her body had been dismembered and scattered across a remote field, an attempt to hide what had been done to her. Within days, Bailey Boswell and Aubrey Trail were arrested and charged with first-degree murder. Sydney's case teaches us critical lessons about the dangers that can hide behind online profiles. Let's break down the red flags that were present. Red flags that anyone using dating apps needs to recognize. Red flag number 1. The hidden partner. Bailey presented herself as single on Tinder, but she was actually in a relationship with Aubrey Trail, and he was very much involved in her interactions with the women she met online. The lesson: if someone you're dating reveals they have a partner who wants to be involved, or if you discover they've been dishonest about their relationship status, that's an immediate red flag. End contact immediately. Red flag number 2. The rapid escalation. Sydney and Bailey went on their first date on November 14th. The second date was the very next day, November 15th. While this might seem like mutual interest, predators often push for quick, repeated meetings to prevent their target from thinking things through or doing additional research. The lesson: it's okay to take your time. A genuine connection will still be there in a few days. If someone is pushing hard for immediate follow-up meetings, especially in quick succession, be cautious. Red flag number 3. The location change. The first date was antiquing, public, daytime safe. But the second date's details were vaguer. Sydney ended up in Wilbur, a small town 40 miles away, at Bailey and Aubrey's home territory. The lesson: never go to someone's home, especially in an isolated or unfamiliar area, on a first or second date. Keep early dates in public places where you know the area and can easily leave. Red flag number 4. The third presence. Security footage showed Aubrey Trail following Sydney and Bailey at Home Depot. Sydney had no idea he was there. She thought she was meeting Bailey alone. The lesson: trust your instincts. If you feel like you're being watched or followed, or if you discover someone else is involved without your knowledge, leave immediately and go somewhere safe and public. Red flag number 5. The lack of digital trail verification. While Sydney did chat with Bailey online first, there were signs in their social media that could have raised concerns. Bailey and Aubrey's social media showed a pattern of seeking out women together. The lesson: do a thorough social media check. Look for inconsistencies, check mutual connections, and consider doing a reverse image search on profile photos. If something feels off, trust that instinct. Sydney Loofe was not naive. She was not careless. She was a young woman doing what millions of people do every single day, trying to find connection in the digital age. What happened to her was not her fault. It was the result of 2 predators who deliberately used technology to hunt. But her story can save lives if we learn from it. Here's what this case teaches us about online dating safety. First, verify identity before meeting. Use video calls. Check social media thoroughly. Look for red flags like accounts with very few photos, recent creation dates, or profiles that seem too perfect. Second, tell someone where you're going. Boys. Sydney's friends knew she was meeting Audrey, which helped investigators immediately. Share your date's profile information, where you'll be and when you expect to be home. Third, meet in public places for the first several dates. Not just the first several. A busy restaurant, a coffee shop during the day, a public park with lots of people around. Never someone's home and never an isolated location. About recognizing predatory patterns. Bailey and Aubrey weren't random killers. They had a pattern. They used dating apps specifically to target women. They presented themselves as a lesbian couple seeking friends or relationships, which they believed would make women feel safer. Predators study what makes people let their guard down. They craft their approach specifically to seem non-threatening. In this case, a woman approaching other women seemed safer than a man, which is exactly what they counted on. The lesson: danger doesn't always look like we expect. It doesn't always come from the demographic we've been told to fear. Stay alert regardless of who you're meeting. About trust and instinct. Sydney was trusting, which is a beautiful quality. We shouldn't have to live in fear. But we can be both trusting and smart. Something feels off, even if you can't articulate why. Listen to that feeling. Cancel plans. Make an excuse. Your safety is more important than being polite. About community awareness. Sydney's disappearance mobilized an entire community. Her coworkers, friends, and family immediately knew something was wrong because they knew her patterns. They knew what was normal for Sydney. The lesson: build and maintain connections. Check in with friends. Notice when someone's behavior changes or when they disappear from their normal routines. Sometimes the people around us are our best safety net. Here are specific steps you can take right now to protect yourself or someone you love. Before the date, do your research. Google their name, reverse image search their photos, check their social media for consistency and red flags. Video chat first. Before meeting in person, have at least one video conversation. This verifies they are who they claim to be. Share details with a trusted friend. Send screenshots of the profile, tell them where you'll be, share your phone location, and set a check-in time. Plan your own transportation. Never let a first or second date pick you up from your home. Drive yourself or use a rideshare. During the date, stay in public. Choose busy venues with good lighting and lots of people around. Trust your gut. If something feels wrong, it probably is. You don't need to justify why you're leaving. Keep your phone charged. Make sure your phone has battery and that your location sharing is on with a trusted contact. Watch your drink. Never leave your drink unattended. If you do, order a new one. Have an exit plan. Know where the exits are. Have money for a rideshare. Tell your friend to call you at a certain time so you have an excuse to leave if needed. General dating app safety. Don't share personal information too quickly. Keep your last name, address, workplace, and daily routines private until you really know someone. Be wary of rapid escalation. Predators often push to move offline quickly, meet immediately, or escalate intimacy fast. Watch for inconsistencies, stories that don't add up, details that change, or evasiveness about basic questions. Be cautious of anyone who wants to involve others. If someone reveals they have a partner who wants to meet you too, proceed with extreme caution or end contact. Red flags that mean end contact now. They get angry when you set boundaries. They pressure you to meet somewhere private or isolated. They're evasive about basic information about themselves. They want to move off the dating app to untraceable communication immediately. They love bomb you with excessive compliments and promises very early. They reveal they've been dishonest about major things: relationship status, identity, location. Your friends or family express serious concerns. They show up unexpectedly or know things about you that you haven't shared. Sydney Loofe was just 24 years old when her life was stolen from her. She was a daughter, a friend, a co-worker who brightened every room. She deserved the chance to find love, to build a life, to chase her dreams. Bailey Boswell was sentenced to life in prison without parole. Aubrey Trail was sentenced to death. But no verdict, no sentence brings Sydney back. What we can do is honor her by learning from her story. By protecting ourselves and the people we love. By recognizing the red flags that could save a life. Sydney's family has worked tirelessly to raise awareness about online dating safety. Her mother has spoken publicly about the importance of being cautious, of trusting your instincts, of making safety your top priority. If this story has impacted you, please take a moment to share it. Talk to your friends, your daughters, your sisters, your loved ones about staying safe while dating online. Education is prevention. And if you found this important, please consider subscribing to Red Flag Files. Every case we cover focuses on the warning signs that could protect you, because the best tribute we can give to those we've lost is making sure their stories save lives. Thank you for honoring Sydney's memory with me today. Stay safe out there. This is Red Flag Files, teaching you the warning signs that could save your life.